Wake up, buyer payer people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhodes on the Buy Here Pay Here morning show. Take it away, you two.
Hey,
good morning,
everybody.
Oh, we got an echo somewhere. Is that on your speaker? So we didn't catch that before we went live here. Give us one moment.
Okay, we're good.
All right, excellent. So welcome, everyone.
It's not like we haven't done this a couple thousand times, but you know what? That's what makes it fun and real.
Yeah,
is because we're messy humans.
we're live, so we just we get to you get to see our mistakes.
And then like, oh, they make mistakes. It's okay if I make mistakes too. Yeah. That's what
one
we
of
do
us has to.
I know, right?
Right. No, listen, I'm glad to have Michelle back in studio. Good to have you here.
Feeling great and happy to be here.
Yeah, good. So we got a lot to cover. There's a whole lot happening. You might have some updates that you want to share before I dive into kind of the business related. Do
you want to run into that now?
Well, I mean, I'm going to share all the business stuff. I just thought if you had any other kind of announcements that you wish to share.
There's a few things that are happening, and y'all know that I took a bit of a break from all of the things, health and all of that. It's also been kind of like a reset in a lot of ways, and that started when we made the move to Oklahoma, and just all of the things. And so we've I've been like in this really weird headspace about is this internal desire to drive something that is that is mine to drive. And we've talked quite a bit about what that could be, and it landed so clearly in the last week. And you watch the Stinger Buy Here Pay Here Nation television, and I was writing this last night, and it was like just my thoughts about our journey with Buy Here Pay Here Nation television. And we first conceptualized this whole thing in a 27-foot trailer as we were crossing the US and living the nomadic life for like right at the end of the lockdown with COVID. And for about 2.5 years we did so much conceptualizing and vision boarding and all of that. So the vision for Buy Here Pay Here Nation television was conceptualized like in 2020. So about 6 years ago, 2021. I mean, it wasn't launched, but it was conceptualized that we do this thing. And so, it was launched, and I need to go back and look, but I mean, it has to have been 4 years ago. And so, logo, Stinger, we have done on Nation Television. I call it Nation Television, even though it's Buy Here Pay Here Nation Television. We've done day-long events under that banner. We've done the morning show under that banner, because you see the Stinger at the beginning and the end, and we've been doing that for quite a while. Webinars, dealer roundups, other podcasts that we have that we've been banking episodes around Market Watch and Tech Watch, and we have some things, Tote the Note, all of that. Dealer workshops that we're doing now are under that banner, and we have some other things that are coming from that. And so, I was like, this is something that we really haven't gardened into a full blossom. And so that is what my thing is moving forward. And so as you'll be watching a lot of things start to unfold relatively soon, but about programming, commercials, sponsorship,
events.
schedules of events, if and being on this it's like a network. It's what it is showing me is it's going to be something like a Netflix, but for buy here, pay here.
Okay.
And so, we've been ringing the bell for quite a while about virtual makes sense for a lot of people because we love conferences, we love the live conferences, and there are some things that you cannot duplicate with virtual.
Sure.
And we know that there are, how it was like 20,000, whatever, dealers across the US. We know that we're reaching them through our YouTube channel. We can really help blossom that as well. But this is, the conferences right now are really only able to capture a certain percentage of that. And so we're like, we want to help advertise conferences because there is a very deep value in that. And we are going to be driving virtual education to people that are or are not members of associations.
Right.
And it's just in general. And there's some things that we are working on which the topic today is around. It's not about necessarily buy here, pay here. It's about business. It's about working together as a couple. And that dynamic or that energy that happens when you're working with someone that you're building a business with and the challenges that come with that. And so there's a lot of things that we've been talking about that will be added to the lineup. And so it's really
that was
he's seen it. In the last week, my energy level has just like boom. Okay, this is it. This is the thing I've been looking for a while. So I'm really, really excited.
I have seen her become very energized. She's excited to get this BHPH Nation TV and kind of multimedia track. There is a ton of content.
Oh my gosh!
Some of it will be updated. Some will be replaced, whatever. But
and part of it is what's in the Institute.
Right.
That will become part of the programming for Buy Here, Pay Here Nation television. So those of you who are familiar with the BHPH Institute, BHPHinstitute.com, there is a lot of stuff there.
Some of those videos I look different. Some of those videos I was in a different setting from 5 years ago.
Some of those videos I'm like 10 pounds lighter.
Maybe, but the content is mostly still valid.
It is.
It's as valid as the day we recorded it. So it's all good.
All right.
Shall we?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for, your graciousness in letting me get excited about what's happening. But I'll still be doing this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to that.
Yeah.
So our conversation today is really around, our topic was, or the title was Kitchen Table Conversations.
Yeah.
So this is us talking about what we see as business coaches and as recently as my V8 meeting last night, right? So we had a dealer show us on the screen their brand new infant.
I wish I had been there.
Brand new baby.
I'm so excited because we've been with him for
let's not say who it is. So,
2 or 3,
right,
or something. For a while. We have quite a history.
We know them. We've met the wife. So this stuff is it's really more than business is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And we also had, I think at the end of last month, we had a meeting where sometimes when we have poor attendance because dealers are off at conferences or whatever, sometimes
time of the year or whatever.
We have low attendance. And I had a meeting a while back where we just had 3 dealers in the meeting. And we were able to dig in a little deeper on some of this kind of stuff that we're going to talk about today. And it really confirmed that dealers could use somebody to kind of guide them through. Any business owner. Most of what we're going to talk about here is we see it in our Buy Here, Pay Here segment, but most everything we're going to talk about today, it would be true for most any business owner, is having somebody walk them through some of these pieces that are, the conversation we had in that particular group that night was around what do you want your business to create for you?
Yeah.
Let's quit talking about
Mm-hmm.
sales and inventory and cash and deal and all the stuff that is the mathematics of being in business. But it's like this idea that what do we want the business to become? And it's back to that thing about, is the business serving you and your family? Or are we kind of slaves to, for lack of a better word, it's like, are we tethered to our business? And then as a result, we're feeling certain pressures.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm going to bring up the first kind of thing that's about the myth of compartmentalized ownership.
Yeah. This idea that you leave it at work and you get in your car and you go home and it all stays at the office. I mean, the reality is that's not generally true. That is, that is not as common as we might think. And it's, so what we're
it
talking
is
about
a gift if you can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a special thing if you can leave your work outside of your home.
So here's the way you and I talked about this the other day when this was coming up, is like some of let me kind of give you some examples. These are not hypothetical situations. These are actual conversations that I've had with dealers in like the last week. Okay. Or business owners. There's some people in my personal life that I've had conversations with that are, also entrepreneurs.
May I just interject? We see, because we associate with a lot of business owners and ones that are in no way attached or connected to the automotive industry. None.
Right.
The challenges are a common thread.
Yeah.
They really are.
Some of this stuff. And obviously when you have a smaller business and you have an entrepreneur that is very engaged in the business, it depends on the business owner a lot. Then when you have stresses, my main point was, you're right, very few can really compartmentalize. It's like when you're feeling the stress of today, I have a dealer that I spoke to who's feeling the stress of the relationship with their lender. They've got some pressures coming from their lender. Okay. Well, do we think that affects these kitchen table conversations? Do we think that's on our minds as we're, getting our kids off to school in the morning, all the stuff that is everyday life? It's like, we know that this stuff comes home with us. And while we may not be talking about it, we may not vocalize it, we may keep it to ourselves as dealers, that the reality is it spills over into our family life. And I think this is the part that this is really my future in coaching. Michelle, you know that.
Oh, I know that.
This is where I'm going to be directing, and we're already kind of doing it. Even inside our V8 conversations, occasionally we get the opportunity to really take dealers to a place where they don't get to talk about this stuff enough. And so this is part of the direction that we'll be going with some of the kind of supplemental coaching that I'm stepping into.
We've talked throughout our podcasting career. I mean, I think we're like 700 episodes, 600 episodes or something like that in, that we think and work in two buckets: straight lines and squiggly lines. Straight lines are, those are things that are numerically, validated, or, that are written down, and you need to follow and every business is foundational to every business. You need to have policies and procedures. You need to make sure you're compliant. You need to make sure that your books are being kept. You need to make sure, and he hates it when I use the word need. We strongly advise.
I don't hate it. I just urge you not to do it, because I think I don't like it.
But this is this is like business 101. It's like there is a strong reason for you to have all of these things understood and like solid, that they're solid. Then there's the squiggly lines. And that is the heart piece. That is the connection, relationship with your consumer. That's your relationship, your connection with your team culture. This is a relationship and connection with your partner, your life partner or business partner, or whatever kind of with all of the things. And so this is what you're talking about, this is squiggly line stuff.
Yeah. And,
Mhm.
we talk a lot about philosophy. Like philosophy informs so much of the way we do business,
Mhm.
even the straight lines. And then even going beyond that to think about what does it look like for me to step away from my business a little bit and talk about these other elements. Like,
Mhm.
so, if you're a dealer listening today, the conversations that we're able to have with some of the folks that we work with is like, just for a minute, just quit being a dealer. You don't even own a car lot for a minute. That is
Mhm.
one of the ways that you make a
I'm
living.
like closing my eyes and oming.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But it's like
Okay.
we have to ask them to think about just for a minute. I know you know me in the context of a BHPH coach. I've done it for almost 30 years. That's the way you see me. But for just a minute, imagine you're not in the buy here, pay here business. That is how you make your living currently. But I'm asking you to take a moment and consider that you're not in the buy here, pay here business, and just ask yourself, where do you want to go with your life? Where do you and your spouse want to be with your life in a year,
Mhm.
in 3 years time?
Uh-huh.
And so that's about,
So that
forget that you're a dealer
yeah,
for just a moment, and let's figure out, what do you want to create, and let's have the business serve you instead of the other way around. And
I
so
get
this is
it.
the part of what I'm trying to step into, and we're succeeding. We're having those conversations with dealers, when the opportunities present itself, and then we'll be stepping forward with more
Mhm.
formats that really facilitate those kind of conversations where we can talk about things that are beyond buy here, pay here. They're relevant to any kind of business. And it's really just about being able to walk folks through this process of, how do I make sure that I end up where I want to be?
And that is the common thread
Yeah.
is, and you said the buy here, pay here, that's just the hat you put on.
Right.
Someone may be putting on a plumbing hat.
Mhm.
Someone may be putting on I own a tech business.
Mhm.
Someone may be putting on a whatever,
Right.
whatever business. And that, that what we see is that it doesn't matter at every stage, every industry. It's like these are important things for people to consider, and that there's not a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. So I had another
that's yeah.
conversation with somebody who reached out to just learn about us from YouTube, and reached out, and I had a fun conversation with a young business owner who's pretty new to financing cars, and they're considering their family member has made um, home equity available for the sake of their business. And it's
Mhm.
like, so just think about, they're at a place where they're contemplating stepping into a
Yeah.
place where they're drawing on real estate in order to build a business. And I think it's just, my mind immediately goes to, how do you do that so that you keep the exit ramp, so that in the event that it doesn't go as planned, you've got the ability to step off of the ramp and not have, that end badly. So
Mhm.
in this case, we're talking about a real estate mortgage, but any other parts of our business, or however we
Mhm.
might capitalize that, a friend, family member bringing in money, like, that stuff happens, right? I
It
mean,
happens with every business. Yeah, well,
businesses
especially when you're
fail.
growing. Yeah.
Businesses fail. And so the
Mhm.
reality is, or they struggle. We've seen family conflict. We've seen conflict,
Yeah.
certainly in the work that you and I've done. We've seen situations where there are members of family inside a business, and there's conflict that way. So this stuff happens. It's just, the question becomes, really, I think the bigger part of this is just being able to kind of catch your breath a little bit and step away from the
Mhm.
rut that you're in and day out, that is everyday business life and entrepreneurship, and just ask yourself, is it, where are we trying to go? What are we trying to create here? And and
Uh-huh.
and so people can help you create that,
Mhm.
but sometimes we have to sort of get out of our own way a little
Yeah.
bit. We have to take a break from the day to day and be
Mhm.
ready to pause. And we just see these poor dealers just struggling to get to a V8 meeting. Just, they're just on the go and whatever else. And that's not new. That's been my whole
Yeah.
career.
I for me, um, I'm married into car business. I
Mhm.
have a different skill set and have done the best I can to apply that to this. But my just for me, what do I want out of life? I want to find delight everywhere I
Yeah.
turn. And for just in the home,
Hmm.
I I I was as I was walking through the house on the way to the studio, I was like, just almost, I'm going to get emotional, almost teary about, I have created something that just delights. It just fills my soul so I can have a bad day and I can still be hits of delight, hits of things that just like, so, you think about like, if you were to walk into your business, what are the things that the environment that would just make your heart sing?
Right.
And, that it's, I feel like I'm a living testament of that, and how that just makes such a difference. It makes such a difference to pinpoint the ways, because it's not just about like the aesthetic and all of that, but pinpoint the ways and the things that bring delight, that bring peace, and so there are things that you and I have as a couple that bring delight, that bring peace, that bring connection. And so those are that's to me like the big part that I am looking forward to contributing to.
Good. Well, I think we covered the parts that I wanted to cover this morning. I think, I know that, that when we think about just the buy here, pay here side of this business, which is primarily where this, our broadcast channels currently go out across, Facebook and LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever. And they're primarily, the audience has been buy here, pay here folks. And I would say that if you're a business owner, you're a buy here, pay here dealer, and you're listening today, look, we can always talk about getting you in a V8 group and helping with your markup
straight
and
line.
turning cars over.
Absolutely.
We can always help with all the straight line stuff. But what I'm asking you today is if you're one of 5 dealers listening today that hears this message, it says, you know what, Jim and Michelle, I could use some help from somebody who would help me navigate this thing about how do I make sure that my business is working for me and that I'm able to create for myself what it is that I'm looking to create. And so this is where we're going to be spending our time in coaching. And so if you're in that group, then by all means reach out. You can find me at, let me get my email loaded up here for you, get that on the screen. So you can always find me at jim@whitehatway.com. We're stepping into our AI thing. We actually started doing some LOIs on AI this week. And so our White Hat Way AI personas are going to be deployed, and we're excited to get those to market. And everybody's working on AI.
Are you ready to say what kind of like what?
No, not today.
Okay.
Not
not today.
We're kind of reaching out to a small group directly on this first round. And so I think, when you get that call, if you're in that small group. The seats are
super limited at the beginning. Just because,
So I'll just tell those people that we've got 20 seats that we're offering. And when you get that call, you might get a second follow-up call, and that's it. If you don't grab one of those 20 seats, and we're going to offer it to somebody else.
So far, the reception has been pretty good.
And rightfully so. We've made it affordable, and we've made it a kind of a collaborative sort of thing.
And it's not what everyone's talking about in the industry. Everyone's like AI. This is not collections. This is not sales. This is something that goes into the squiggly lines.
It solves a problem. It solves a problem that dealers have, and I think you'll be able to see that soon enough. But like I say, we're starting to enter into LOIs, and we've got a development partner that can deploy this thing in a matter of weeks. So we're excited to get some dealers committed on this and get to work. So I think we should wrap up
really,
there.
really exciting stuff. I don't think so either. So, I don't know if y'all are aware, and we haven't really done a lot of podcasting. Buyer Payer United is
starts this week. This coming week.
It starts. It's soon. My mind's been other places than paying attention to the calendar, but I know that is happening very soon.
It's the 19th through the 21st.
And I'm sure it's not too late to get a ticket and get a hotel room, hop on a plane. If you are looking to learn in a consolidated and where you can choose from a lot of different classes, live university type of thing. I'd look it up. So it's Buyer Payer United. I know there's a lot of ads that are being run on Buyer Payer Success.
Do they still call it the Summit? BHPH United Summit?
I don't know.
Anyway, you
Yeah,
can find
but
it.
it's a good conference. And then the next one coming up is the national conference
Mhm.
for
And that one is on
the
June
mhm.
21st through 24th in Denver.
Yeah, yeah. So that one is going to be that's another really good one. This is for pioneer and independent.
Mhm.
You're going to be able to. They talk more about the legislative side,
Sure.
the compliance side, and what your association is doing for you, and a great forum for you to talk to those that represent you into what you would like to see happen.
Sure.
So all of the people on the board, everything will be there for that. So that's another one, and that happens in June. It's over Father's Day weekend, which is one bummer, but we won't be there this year. We've got other irons in our fire that it's just not going to happen. But we, big shout out for all of those things. So, hey everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. We appreciate you taking your time. We know that you've got other things and, things that are, but this is it. Just, there's a lot of gratitude.
Yep.
Have
Enjoy
yourselves
your
a great
weekend.
day. We'll talk to you all later.